Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from our comfy couch here in the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon Reviews for January 29th, 2023, with your host, Peacemaker2448, and wrap it up, Salon.
Hello.
It's more Armada, where the last episode has confused me greatly, and I don't know what's going on.
Fair.
But before Armada, Geets this week certainly decided to make a liar out of me on Twitter.
And me on last week.
Yeah, because Taka posted it or tweeted out, like, who do you think that the traitor is? And I'm like, obvious answer, Ace. Big brain answer, no one. As it turns out, both of those are wrong.
Yeah.
As it turns out, it's the new character that has stuck around. That's not dead. I have to clarify because of episode previews. Because somehow the other one is not dead. Well, he was never dead to start with, but like,
You know what would really be funny?
What?
If we find out there was actually 3.
Then who's the third one?
Ace.
Fair! I'm just like, okay, so Lopo's the traitor. Okay, I shouldn't be surprised by this. Also, damn Kawa, just murk that Yamato just as hard as you can. I don't blame you, but damn.
Yeah, he's just over the bad guys right now.
I mean, they did decide to deliver a pineapple bomb to her. Or to his sister. That instead of the bomb just being defused because he blew up the motto, he still had to go back and cut the correct wire.
Yeah.
But yeah,
also, I love how we found out that, Buffa is gonna become one.
I was kind of half joking of being like, he's gonna become the Baron, and I'm like, motherfucker has the fucking bind thing starting on the same goddamn hand. Yuya Takahashi has literally went, I want my version of Baron, and it's gonna be Buffa.
But did you notice in the opening? We've got the lineups, right?
Yeah.
Where it shows them all together. When it flipped over to Buffa, it showed him at the far left. Not dead center.
Yeah, it's been that way for the last few weeks.
I wonder if that's foreshadowing that we're gonna have a team on each side.
Well, they did say sponsors plural for the Yamato, and I'm like, what plural sponsor? Wait, what? Why?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Why?
They mentioned her as one of the Yamato sponsors.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
And they have their own fucking viewing area and shit? Like, what?
That was one of those. I noticed it in the opening. And then as the episode went on, I was like, did I just notice what they're actually fixing to do here? It seems weird though, if they're gonna do that, why isn't Buffa the head of the other team?
because he's not there yet.
Or he's never gonna be.
Right.
That's what's kind of got me more puzzled with that.
I believe we already have our 4 card gun wielding riders because they decided to slip in the card gun just casually with Geets' sponsor this week.
Uh-huh.
So that's next month for anyone curious. That's gonna happen next month. Is all 4 of them are debuting because there is fucking 4 of them. And oh look, who have we all introduced recently? All 4 of our sponsors for our 4 main group.
Ah, crap. I think I just pieced it together, actually, of why Buffa's not the center. We've actually got a rider in the show, and if they're pattern off of Gaim, we know exactly who's gonna wind up playing for the other team, so to say.
This is gonna be a fun sponsor lady that's not Azu. Oh.
Ace. He'll show up for both teams.
Of course he will.
Think about it. Gaim's power is derived from the enemy.
Yeah.
Ace's power would be derived from the enemy at that point.
And I think we're also supposed to get Boost Mark II next week. Or not next week, next month. Not next week, no, next month. We're supposed to get Boost Mark.
Which wouldn't surprise me if that starts down that path.
Mm-hmm. Because, surprisingly enough, next week, not only did we get Lopo with Boost in her last episode before she gets voted off because she's going to reveal herself as a traitor because, oh no, my family got a bomb delivered. Help, please. Because it's technically my focus episode.
Which also means that that's her last episode because focus episode means that's it for you unless you're part of the show for the long run.
Yeah. Which is going to be a shame. But we also get Gazer. Yes, that is the name of the new Glare variant. Because everyone in charge of the DGP apparently have I-based names.
I mean, sounds about right. Or I guess looks about right, technically.
Yeah. Also, nice the episode to outright confirm that Neon is being sponsored by her dad, who wants better for her, and her mom is still being terrible. I don't know if Neon's dad is that much of a shithead at the moment.
I mean, instead of telling her mom that she's a piece of crap and back off, he's telling her to risk her life to change what she wants. They're both not too good.
I'm sure both of Neon's parents are garbage, and I'm just like, Neon, fucking leave. Take your bodyguards, leave, go form, I don't know, something with them so they can transform. Go form a rider team with them so they can transform and see their helmets, because we still haven't seen their helmets, damn it!
But you know something else too? It came from the talk of various sponsors.
Yeah.
Our main guy making the comment of this is the most realistic experience that he has had. When I saw that, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, there's something fucky with reality.
Yeah.
I also love, because I saw it as quoted in the Soda Pop Discord, of his comment of like of about death, and it's just like that is the funniest thing coming from the writer of this show, considering the last couple of shows he's written, where nobody fucking dies permanently.
I mean, technically, no one does here. Because I think that does kind of change tactics.
Yeah.
I think as opposed to looking at this as this was real world concept, now thinking of it as this might be simulation-esque.
Yeah.
I say that because we don't know for sure. I kind of wonder if the end of it might be getting rid of the DGP in a certain way, but maybe not to the point of like how Gaim was, where it's like take the problem somewhere else.
Yeah.
Not to mention Ace's change of drive of wanting to be a game master now kind of has me thinking that's gonna be the direction he's gonna go anyhow.
I'm just curious who's going to show up in the Gazer outfit. I assume it's our current game master, but I'm like, are we really going to show that this quirky, way too into his job guy is somehow Mr. Calm, counters all your moves, you know, breaks you in half guy in the suit?
Probably not.
So then, like, who's showing up as Gazer? Because they're hiding that fact from us.
They're hiding it, but they're not. We do have someone that has, you know, tried to sweep a oops under the rug. Quite literally. And he does seem the right temperament for something like that.
Oh, is it the guy from the end of the episode?
Uh-huh.
Oh, goody. I think I saw someone call him as final boss, and I'm like, yeah, he feels like final boss material at this current moment, if we're not going the guy route of it's Buffa.
It won't be Buffa. That'll be the final battle.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of the way his ambitions are. But that's not final boss technically.
Yeah.
Whereas really, if you think about it, with Gaim, do we count Gaim versus Baron truly as final boss? Because that's kind of more just cleaning up.
I'm trying to think of who the fuck would be final boss before then, because I'm like, it wasn't the white one, because he died to Redyu? So, like, Redyu? I guess? Because, like, Baron killed Sengoku.
I would think Helheim just in general.
Yeah.
Like, the actual act of Gaim taking the mantle to get rid of Helheim entirely is more the final battle kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, Gaim versus Baron was kind of that stepping stone to make him realize that, but
mm-hmm.
I don't really know if there truly was a final external battle more so than an internal one.
Mm-hmm. Because I'll be honest, like, if we're not counting Baron as final boss, I don't know who the fuck you do count as final boss at that point. Because nobody lasted. Because, like, that whole conflict built for, like, the last, like, 4 to 5 episodes of that show.
Yeah.
Because Redyu was dead in like his second encounter with Kota.
I think so.
And that was like just as he got back at it. No. Was it as he just got back at Chidoki? I don't remember. It's been a while.
I don't either right offhand.
But yeah, and it can't be the white one because the white one died to Redyu because Redyu tried to steal his golden fruit, and the guy was like, "Haha, you can't steal it. It's not yours. Bye." And then like it could be Sengoku, but fucking Baron was the one that murdered Sengoku in the end. And it wasn't even like the last few it was like before his whole thing with Code started. Because that's when he first became Lord Baron.
That's why I'm kind of like, you know, honestly don't know if we truly had one with it. Because most of the final villain material was kind of already expelled before then.
Yeah.
And I have to wonder if we're going to see something similar here. Because if Ace does start climbing the ranks of the DGP, then I guess he'd be set in the same predicament.
Yeah.
But if they stop him from doing that, then that's going to be where the change is going to come in.
Well, one last thing before we get to Armada. The Chimera Juga driver and the Deathstream driver came out over the weekend. And since the nothing new out of the Deathstream driver, except that some of the like animals on the LED screen have different colors. It's very strange, but nothing new there outside of, for some reason, Deathstream driver has 4 transformation jingles. 3 of them are generic, depending on what you slam in there. I don't know why, it just does. Also, Veil has a transformation for when you don't use or transformation jingle for when you don't use Kabuto. Strange again. But the Chimera driver has confirmed what riders are associated with the Planera and the Chameleon Vice Stamps. Would you care to guess which riders?
Which?
Mock and Chase. I don't understand why, but it does. That's apparently what the driver recognizes when you scan them into the part that registers whatever rider it is. Also, apparently not all the show riders are registered in there. So like the Kajaku one that's I forgot who Kajaku was. Zekross, I think. Yeah, Kajaku was Zekross. If you try to scan that in there, it just says rider. It doesn't say specifically who. But only Ichigo's registered in there, which is just one of those, that's strange. So I guess they never bothered to give us all of the associated show riders. Oh well. I guess George is not that big of a fan of shoulder riders. Which honestly sounds a little accurate. But shall we get to Armada for the week?
I guess we shall.
Alright, I'm just gonna roll off where these together because there ain't a whole lot to each of those. So, episode 17, Conspiracy. Everybody's down because they lost the Star Saber. Hotshot especially. The kid's giving him a bit of a speech to give him a morale boost, so he doesn't feel that bad about losing the big sword, the big lightsaber thing. We got a mini-con in a foggy forest, and both our teams get there. Megatron enacts a plan to get Star Saber away. Sideways is not involved in this plan, actually. My bad. Sideways just notices it. It's actually Leader 1 that does all the other stuff for him. But we see both sides split up to explore this foggy forest. Starscream's on his own with the Star Saber team. He gets shot at by Leader 1, and he thinks it's the Autobots, so he goes out swinging with the sword and almost takes Demolisher, or not Demolisher, that's later, Scavenger's head off. The Scavenger's like, not it. What do you do? I didn't hear any gunshots. What are you talking about? Eventually, after they re-split up, because Starscream's on a "you're doing a bad thing" list, Hotshot and Scavenger meet. Scavenger more or less blows him off because he doesn't want to fight. Then another instance of this has Starscream almost take out Demolisher, and Meg steps in, takes the shot, and hams it up real fucking good. Like, good fucking lord. It should be fairly obvious that he's not that hurt with how much he is hamming it up. And everyone is just playing along. I think because they all hate Starscream.
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
So that gets Megatron the Star Saber. So they go to where the Autobots have the Minicon. Fight breaks out. Scavenger ends up with the Minicon. They all leave. And now they have the second part of the now named Skyboom shield, which is exactly what you think it is. It's a shield. At this point, Scavenger goes, "My work here is done. Goodbye," and then fucks off and leaves, and then goes to the Autobot base, where we find out that he's been undercover with the Decepticons the whole time. What did he get for being undercover with them this whole time?
Not much, because they should already know where the base is, thanks to Hotshot.
Yeah, because I noticed when I was looking through some notes on like the differences between the Japanese and English versions. They were like, "Oh yeah, Scavenger told us where the base was," and I'm like, Hotshot was there like 2 episodes ago. I'm pretty sure he knows where the fucking base. I'm pretty sure we all know where the fucking base is. We didn't need Scavenger to tell us that. Also, why did y'all not know where the base was when Scavenger has been there for weeks? When Hotshot was there? Like, can Scavenger not send a message being like, "Hey guys, by the way, Hotshot's up here on the moon. Should I evac him before he does something stupid?" So, yeah, this feels entirely pointless. Scavenger doesn't get us anything for being undercover. He doesn't even steal a bunch of Minicons and bring them back with him. Like, he just up and left. Like, the fuck? Anyway, that takes us to episode 18, Trust. So we find out the Hotshot's training under Scavenger because he's old and knows a whole bunch of stuff. But we didn't find out Scavenger is taking a nap. And that leads to Carlos being distrustful of him because reasons, and Smokescreen's distrustful of him because of reasons. Meanwhile, the Decepticons don't even know if Scavenger has joined the Autobots yet. Officially. They just know he fucked off and left. And it's like, why are they upset that he joins them? Armada, I'm very confused. Like, what did Scavenger do to warrant y'all being upset that he left your side? He helped you, then he's helped the Autobots at this point. Why are you mad? Some part of me feels like this has to be the dub for all of these writing issues, right?
I mean,
but some other Some other part of me is just like, no, the show is in fact this deeply flawed. It just gets more mangled via the translation. Because I don't feel like you can get around this, because it's obviously present visually that this is the course of events. It's just as more mangled by the dialogue. Because that's the only difference, really. But yeah, we get a new mini-con. It's in the Arctic this time again. I guess the other Arctic from the one they were at before. Probably. I don't know. They keep throwing these things out there, and I'm just like, unless it's one of the fancy ones, I don't think we're supposed to care. I don't think. But our two sides fight it out. Scavenger kind of just hides behind the hill as Prime leads Megatron to a ravine and then like pulls him into the ravine, and then Scavenger saves him, and it's like, hey, we got rid of Megatron, and then Megatron gets pulled up by Sideways, but then he gets a Hadouken from Prime, and then Mega's like, I'll get you next time, and they all fuck off. And I guess the Autobots got the Minicon. Did they show the Minicon getting gotten this episode? Because I feel like they did.
I don't think they did.
Fantastic. So we got a Minicon, but we don't even know which one it is. So that takes us to episode 19, which is the most filler episode of the bunch. Ooh. So we've got random reporter lady talking about stuff, and apparently a storm's blowing in, and there's a dam nearby this campground, I guess. This is when we check in with Alexis, who's coming to the base, because apparently she did not get told that everyone else is going on a small camping trip. And by everyone, I mean Red Alert, Smokescreen, and the rest of the kids that aren't Alexis. Because nobody told her. And she's very upset about it. And she stays upset about it for the entire episode. Does this mean anything? Absolutely not. Because meanwhile, the Decepticons are all getting jobbed out by Megatron with the Star Saber in a training exercise. And that is literally their entire plot for the rest of the episode. All 2 scenes of it. So the kids go to a campsite. They get to enjoy it and stuff. Some other random smaller kid shows up and sees that they're robots and stuff. And the kids are like, don't tell anyone. The kid's like, okay, I'll not tell anyone, as I tell my dad twice over. But then the storm rolls in, everybody takes shelter, but then it gets worse, so they're going to have to open the dam to relieve the water that's building up behind the dam. And, well, they try to evac, but then the small kid shows up, and that gets Carlos, Red Alert, and that kid buried under mud. So now the Transformers got to go save him. But Reporter Lady is nearby with a live camera, meaning they can't do anything transform. They have to do it all in card mode. Wouldn't it be more suspicious? Like, wouldn't it still be suspicious that all these random cars are showing up and doing this with no people?
No, it definitely wouldn't be weird that a semi and a regular car decided to drive up to this. Yeah. I'm not even finishing that.
Yeah. Scavenger's the only one that feels like he would be here. Also, his cockpit is empty. Because he's a fucking construction vehicle. People can clearly see that no one's driving him. That kind of blows the cover, doesn't it? Like, at least everyone else has the excuse of, oh, they have really tinted windows so you can't see the driver. Scavenger doesn't have that excuse. But yeah, they manage to rescue Red Alert, but then Scavenger gets swept away. He transforms to kind of save himself, but then Prime has to transform to save him when his stuff breaks. And that kind of gets caught on camera, but it's not enough to fucking matter because we're not referencing this event ever again. They head back. Alexis tries to apologize. Carlos decides to still be a dick, and that's where the episode ends. Oh boy. Now for the fun episode. Episode 20. So, we start with the Autobots losing a minicon again. Except, new friend Blur snipes it out of the Demolisher's hands and takes it, and that's now his new partner, because we need his partner here at the start of this episode. He proceeds to blow off Hotshot and the kids, because he is just, I'm all about the mission. Mission, 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 mission. And that's it. That's when we get a new alert that a minicon has accidentally activated at a racetrack. Somehow. This is the first time this has happened, right?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure this is the first time it's happened, which makes me ask the question, how the fuck did this minicon activate itself? Like, it's one of the three for the Sky Boom shield, so I guess it's special, but it just had a rock hit it, and it just turned on, and it was just like, ooh, racetrack, I'm gonna go drive around it. Because it can. Don't worry, this episode gets dumber. So both of the teams show up. I'm pretty sure Prime gets surprised that the Decepticons are there. Like this doesn't happen every week. Like, Prime, they always show up. Sometimes they're there before you. Because they can. But we see the new minicon is being chased by Swindle, who the Autobots don't recognize. Because... So that's when the minicon gets away. Hotshot and Blur are in pursuit. Swindle gets away from Red Alert after getting tossed into his hands to hook up with Starscream so they can continue to shoot at people. Smokescreen manages to shoot down, I think, sideways, which leaves like Cyclonus and I guess maybe Starscream in pursuit. And then like Hotshot and Blur start bumping into each other, and from the dialogue, it seems like Blur is the one bumping into Hotshot for no good reason. Hold on to that, it's gonna hurt in a minute. Because Blur hooks up with his minicon, gets a flight mode, proceeds to get ahead of the minicon, and like does a burnout or does donuts to send the minicon and Hotshot into the stands of this racetrack, and send Cyclonus flying. And then Hotshot's like, what the fuck, dude? And then as the minicon's escaping up the stands, Blur shoots the stands out from under the minicon, forcing Hotshot to go catch it. And Hotshot proceeds to again go, what the fuck? Only for Cyclonus to just show up and just yoink it out of Hotshot's hands and then fuck off and leave with the rest of the Decepticons. So now the Decepticons have the Sky Boom shield, which is certainly a thing that the three of those minicons transform into that helps it not look like just three things bolted together. But then afterwards, Hotshot gets chewed out by the kids for not working with Blur. And he's the one that has to go apologize to Blur, but then Blur's like, you taught me what it means to be buddies with a minicon. And now they're on good terms. What the fuck? What? Have I lost the plot? Did I lose the plot somewhere? Tommy, help.
No, the plot wasn't ever there.
Okay, good. Because I'm like, none of this makes sense. Is this a dialogue change? Because none of this makes sense. Blur's the one instigating shit and being a dick. Why is Hotshot getting chewed out for it? I don't... This is not how this plot works. Oh my god, the show. Is this literally a show that doesn't get good until like the back end of it? When it's like, oh, we have a plot now. We have something to do of importance and we can move forward with it.
Probably, yeah.
Oh god. Because let's see, how do I rate these episodes? Meh. Meh. Why are you even here? And legitimately a bad episode. Just probably the worst episode we've had so far in 20. I don't think we've had worse than this yet. Do you have any thoughts on the episodes?
No.
There. So yeah, that's where we at our Armada for the week, and it continues to be the show that I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch the rest of the show. This show's got to do something really good in the next few weeks, or else we might drop this and just move on. Because damn, this show is just kind of boring and sometimes baffling bad in the wrong ways. I was hoping it'd be bafflingly bad in the good ways, but it's not. But any other thoughts?
No.
All right, then Thursday we'll continue Duels with the Roses as I try to do some grinding. Friday will be us starting Splatoon run-throughs with 3. Saturday will be Fortnite for the moment. And then next Sunday will hopefully be 4 better episodes of Armada. Somehow. I doubt it, but I can hope. But if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Chip away at the Filigo at Season and Tortugas. You have days alive. Next exclamation point Discord in chat. Get this or link. Drop by. Say hi. See you Thursday, folks.